Aloha. I just took a few notes on some questions I was considering that you guys might have. I figured that a lot of people on here have never had a tarot reading, and definitely not for me. There are a lot of you I've never read cards for before. And some of these questions I've been asked already, and some of them I feel people are even afraid to ask. They're too afraid to even ask. So I just wanted to go ahead and make this video and address some things that you might be curious about. So a lot of people say that psychics, readers, tarot readers take away your power, that healers take away your power. And of course, this can happen. Of course, we can see from many angles why this could happen, but I'm not going to get into that. I'll show you why it won't happen with me. So plain and simple, my work is not disempowering, because what I do is I don't just answer questions that you're asking. I don't just answer mundane questions. I don't answer anything. I open up to become a bridge and a space for communication to happen between you and archetypes, the archetypes that are at the root of all of creation. They're inside of me, and they're inside of you, and they're inside of all things. I just become the bridge for their communication with you. Okay, so I don't actually answer anything. And I'll answer more of that through the other questions, okay? Why does it not conflict with religion? Because it's not about the source of this wheel of life itself. That source is something that you have to tune into, beyond words, beyond organizations, beyond institutions. It's the compass of your heart. And we don't get into that here. That's something that you have to do. No one can do that for you. Okay? But it doesn't conflict with religion, because what it is energy. It's talking about archetypal energies that are a part of the seasons and the wheel of life. They have to do with this material plane and the manifestations on this plane in reflection of what's happening in the unseen realms. Not saying where all of that was created, how it came to be. That's up to you to figure out. It's just acknowledging that there are these archetypes, these archetypal energies at the root of all of life. And I think a lot of you, despite your religion, I mean, you may be atheist, I don't know. But despite what you believe in, you sense a pattern, a sacred pattern within you, around you. There's nature, divine proportions everywhere we look, even inside of ourselves. That's undeniable. So it's a science. It's a sacred science. That's what tarot is. And anybody of any background or any faith can find their own interpretation. It truly is all about your perspective, your perception, and how you are receiving the information and what you're doing with it. So it doesn't matter what religion you are. That's a big one I get asked all the time. A lot of people say that I need to find Jesus, but how do you know I didn't find him? Everybody's perspective is different. And that's fine. I welcome all suggestions. All suggestions. Send them my way. That's fine. Whatever you feel in your heart, I need to know. Why are there no limitations on questions? People come and they ask, what am I allowed to ask and what am I not allowed to ask? Are there certain things that you can't tell me? Certain things that the cards can't show? And that's not even an issue. Shouldn't be a question, and definitely not in the work that I do. Because the archetypes want you to know that you can ask as many questions as you'd like. In fact, you should. Give as much as you can to get as much as you can. People are so worried that if they share too much, then the psychic or the medium is going to just tell them exactly what they said. But that is what a poor reader would do. That is what somebody who's not really in tune would do. Because remember, you're not looking at that psychic, that reader. You're not looking at that person. You're looking through them and into your own self. So if they're just reflecting back to you, they're reflecting from their own ego in some way, from this form, in this physical dimension. We're not breaking through. But what will happen if you share a lot of information and you're really talking to the archetypes, if they're really being a vessel for that to take place, then you're communicating to energies that aren't going to mirror what you say, but they're going to mirror the essence of what you say, revealing things that you didn't even know were there. So you ask all these questions, you get it all out on the table, the cards are out on the table, and they reflect to you, yes, everything that you shared, but the truth of it, the energies that are behind all of it, that's what they do. So yes, it is a mirror, but it's a clear mirror. one that you're obviously seeking for one reason or another. So oftentimes you ask questions, but the questions that you ask are not the questions that your soul is really asking. The ego that entered the room at the beginning of the reading and asked the questions was really seeking to get back into alignment, right alignment, to be able to see what the real questions are behind all of the other ones. Those original initial questions are like the leaves, but what we get to is the root of the tree. We go into the branches, we go into the trunk, and we go all the way down to the root of the tree, which connects to the tree of all of life. That's a real reading. So what I do is I help you to activate the archetypes within. I'm an archetypal activator. I'm not just a tarot reader. I'm here to show you that you have this system within you, this archetypal system, beyond the tarot. And the tarot is a science based on you and your own and our own nature. Okay, so you end up not receiving the answers to those questions necessarily, perhaps. But what really happens is you get to the root of everything that's going on, and you end up asking the right questions, the more precise questions that you really should be asking. And then you leave the reading with the tools and the allies to support you in answering those questions. You leave with a more well-rounded perspective, letting go of extraneous thoughts and pain, holding on to anger, resentment, all those things fall away, so that you leave with an empowered perspective, ready to fully make a change and answer the questions that you didn't even know you had, the questions that were behind the ones you entered in the room asking. So I'm here to just help you do that. That's all I really do. Okay, let's see what other questions I have here. And feel free to ask questions in the comments because this is live. Okay, so the archetypes and I, what I was basically just saying is we work as an alliance. We team up together. I become the bridge to reflect to you a clear and whole picture of the truth behind everything. We reveal the operating forces behind the scenes, allowing you to realize questions you didn't know you had. Okay. Why do I use the cards and not just my own mind? They are my mind. They are facets, angles of not only my mind, but the universal mind. Okay, they're all perspectives. These archetypes are angels or angles, perspectives of the one unified mind. Not just mine, but ours together, all of ours as one. If you haven't heard of the Gaia theory yet, you're late. Look it up. Gaia, G-A-I-A. It's real, whatever name you want to give it. Okay, so I don't need the cards. I see them in all that I sense. I see them in all that I think, that I say, that I do, that I receive, that I taste, touch. Everything I do on this plane, I can sense the archetypal energies behind them. So I don't need the cards. The cards are my lenses. They're the eyes that I see through. They're integrated into my program. However, the point of my doing this work is for others who desire to get to that point of integration. So I go back to the cards and I use them as a bridge. Because if you're not there yet, how can you see it? That's the whole point of what I'm doing. If you're in another dimension and someone's not in that dimension, they can't see your other dimensional features because they haven't developed the perception, the perspective, the vision to see. And so I use the cards as a bridge. I take a step back, materializing that program back into the cards, and then I reveal step by step how to get to that level of not needing them at all. So the goal eventually is to activate these cards or faces within each one. It's very windy. Okay. When we do this work, we connect together, and inclusiveness is a virtue, it's a power. You know, two is always better than one as long as the energies are meeting each other with their fullest presence and intention, right? Otherwise, less is more. Because as one consciousness, efficiency is key because we're all in this together. So we want to use the least amount of energy to do the most righteous work. So less is more when that presence and intention is not being reflected because you have everything inside of you, within you, to complete any mission on your own. But when there's an opportunity to collaborate, it's a virtue for a reason. It's powerful to connect with others in the same goal because it takes even less energy to do even more than. You can see and sense the expansion in that. And so when we do this work, that's what we're doing. We access realizations which attune us to primordial frequencies at the foundation of creation. So not only do we connect to that source, but we pull in the support of these infinite channels, source, by connecting to that and to everything else that's connecting to it. We begin to receive all of the energies that resonate with that particular key note. So we tap into an infinite source. We can just go straight there and not even consider all of the other lives on this earth, beings that are embodying that energy at this time. Or even things that aren't, appearing to be alive. Everything is made up of these original creative energies. So again, when we connect to that source, we connect to the power of all of those things embodying it. And that's very powerful. So when we do these readings, that is the powerful work that we do. We use the material to break through it and go to the center, revealing the truth behind all of our situations, attuning us to frequencies that are supportive of balancing those situations, and receiving the keys and guidance to initiating, activating that balance, and also maintaining it for life. These are sustainable methods. This work is sustainable. This work is not some crap that you do and when you die it's lost. This goes with you forever. This goes with us forever. All work that's done in truth is eternal. The results are eternal. And so you got to know that. And that's the work that we do. It's not just some little realization that goes in one ear and out the other. It's integration. It's an activation and then an integration. But again, it's not something I'm making you do or telling you to do. It's not something that I'm taking away your power. It's an opportunity to once and for all tune into that power and that innate guidance system in a way that is real, true, practical, sustainable, absolutely supportive of the one in every single way. So I think we covered a lot here, but if you have any other questions, if I missed a question that you have, please let me know. I think it's really important to consider these things. If you've been, denying the reading, even though some part of you has been telling you you want it, or if you've been interested in the archetypes but haven't felt comfortable or brave enough to ask a question about it, or just didn't know where to begin. Hopefully this gives you a reference point and shows you that perhaps a limitation you had is illusionary. Like religion, doesn't matter. Watch this video if you're just tuning in now. It doesn't matter what religion you are. It doesn't interfere with religion. I don't need the cards. It doesn't make me less of a channel because I use them. If you watch this video and you hear my method, there's total logic in my process. So that's very important as well, because a lot of people, project their doubt as far as that aspect of the reading. And it's not disempowering. You find the answers yourself, because we, the Alliance of the Archetypes and I, do not provide you direct answers to your mundane questions. The answers that we offer are in the form of questions, deeper ones, the ones that behind the ego's questioning are the soul's questioning. So then you leave with more clarity to answer them yourself. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I appreciate you. And I'll see you in a couple days here for the next activation reading. We do them 4 times a month for free. Free tarot activation readings for the collective. And those are done here on Facebook Live. And then if you miss it, you can catch it on youtube.com/RebeccaMagic. Shalom.